Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen a man go from king of his castle to begging outside the gates in less than a week? Well, buckle up because Papoose, yes, the Papoose is reportedly on his knees, pleading with Remy Ma after being publicly dumped by none other than Claressa Shields. For her own fiancé, let that sink in. How do you get replaced by the man she was already with? This isn't just a breakup. This is a career-ending humiliation served on a silver platter with the world watching. Picture it, 1 minute he's flexing, like he's untouchable. And the next, the internet is flooded with whispers, alleged DMs, and blurry sighting videos of Claressa cozying back up to her original man. And poor Papoose. He's left looking like the plot twist no one asked for. Anonymous friends are spilling to gossip blogs. Insiders are hinting there's way more to this than anyone's admitting. And fans are out here turning the whole thing into memes. But here's the question, did Claressa actually play him from the start? Or is this the ultimate revenge move by Remy Ma herself? Oh, trust me, the tea is just getting started. They say in the entertainment industry, loyalty is just a word people throw around when the cameras are on. And if there was ever a living, breathing example of that cold, brutal truth, it's this scandal right here. Papoose, the man who once proudly wore the crown of hip-hop's loyal husband, is now the centerpiece of a drama so wild, so messy, and so painfully ironic, even the most seasoned gossip reporters are choking on their coffee. Let's rewind. Because before Claressa Shields was trending for allegedly tossing Papoose back into the dating pool, like a fish she never wanted in the first place, she was engaged. Yes, engaged to her longtime man, Tony Rich. The world knew it. She knew it. And let's not pretend Papoose didn't know it too. And yet, somewhere between celebrity parties, Instagram lives, and those mysterious training sessions that insiders swear weren't just about boxing, Papoose's name started popping up next to hers. Coincidence? Please. In this business, nothing is a coincidence. It's either strategy or scandal. Now, here's where it gets juicier. Anonymous friends, and we all know that's just code for people who can't resist running their mouths for a little clout, claimed Claressa was never serious about Papoose. One source even told Gossip Spill Vibe exclusively, sis was just having fun. Papoose was like the hype man she didn't need, but kept around because he made her feel like she was winning. But her real life, that was still with Tony. And oh, the irony. Because not too long ago, Papoose was the one defending his marriage with Remy Ma through every rumor, every tabloid headline, every whisper of infidelity. He built his brand on loyalty, commitment, and sticking by his woman no matter what. But in this plot twist, it's him standing in the middle of the ring, gloves down, taking punches from both sides. Claressa dumping him for her fiancé, and Remy Ma allegedly watching from the sidelines with a smile that says, "Now you know how it feels." But what really happened behind the scenes? According to leaked text messages, which of course we can't verify, but come on, when has that ever stopped anyone? Claressa had been hinting at a reunion with Tony weeks before the public even suspected a split from Papoose. One alleged message read, "It's always been you. I just got caught up in the hype. I'm coming home soon." And if that's true, then Papoose was just what? A rebound? A headline grabber? A man who thought he was the main course, but was really just the appetizer. Social media, of course, ate it up. Twitter turned it into a circus. Memes of Papoose photoshopped into a folding chair at a wedding he wasn't invited to. Captions like, "Bro thought he was player one, but was really NPC energy." Instagram gossip pages reposted blurry videos that allegedly showed Claressa and Tony leaving a restaurant together, looking way too comfortable for two people who were supposedly just catching up. And in the middle of all this chaos, where was Remy Ma? Well, depending on which exclusive insider you believe, she was either laughing it up with friends in a studio session, working on new music, or subtly liking shady posts on Instagram that screamed. This could have been avoided. One particularly spicy rumor even claims she sent Papoose a 3-word text after the breakup news broke. Told you so? Savage if true. But here's where it gets borderline soap opera level absurd. Another so-called insider claims that Papoose had been trying to juggle both relationships at once, keeping lines of communication open with Papoose. If Remy, while trying to play new man with Claressa, if that's true, it's no wonder the whole thing exploded in his face. In the court of public opinion, double-dipping in love is a rookie mistake. Especially when one of the women involved is a world champion boxer who could physically knock the foolishness out of you. And make no mistake, Claressa is no stranger. 2 headlines. She's been called cocky, unapologetic, even too real for her own good. But dumping a man for the man you were already with? That's not just real, that's ruthless. The kind of ruthless that guarantees your name stays trending for weeks, maybe months. And whether you love her or hate her, you can't deny she knows how to control her narrative. Papoose, on the other hand, seems to be scrambling. Sources claim he's been reaching out to mutual friends, trying to tell his side of the story before it's too late. One mutual even spilled that he's been talking about regretting ever leaving Remy. As if that's going to magically erase the fact that he's now the poster boy for played yourself energy. Meanwhile, Tony Rich is just chilling, posting gym selfies, motivational quotes, and the occasional couple-wife photo with Claressa that all but confirms they're back together. No messy captions, no shade. It's just a quiet confidence that says, yeah, I won. And in a way, he did. Now, for those keeping score, Claressa gets her fiancé back. Tony gets the girl. Kana gets the last laugh. And Papoose, he gets the lesson. A hard, public, meme-filled lesson. But the question remains, was this all just bad luck? Or was Papoose set up from the start? Because some people, the kind who live for conspiracy theories, are already spinning a wilder narrative. They're saying Remy and Claressa were in on it together. Think about it. Remy gets to watch Papoose take a public L, Claressa boosts her name in both sports and gossip headlines. Okay? And Tony gets to swoop in as the real man in the story. Too far-fetched. Maybe, but in the world of celebrity drama, the most unbelievable story often turns out to be the truest one. And if that's the case, then Papoose wasn't just a victim of love gone wrong. He was a pawn in a bigger, messier game. A game where loyalty is for Instagram posts and heartbreak is just free promo. But this is only scratching the surface. Because what we don't know yet, the alleged behind closed doors arguments, the accidental leaks, the carefully timed public appearances could change everything. And as more anonymous voices come forward, claiming they saw, heard, or know something that could blow this story wide open. The first thing you need to know is that the so-called accidental leaks surrounding this whole Papoose Claressa Tony Remy quadrangle, gay, not so accidental, a well-placed source who will call the whisperer for their own safety and by safety. I mean, their follower count claims certain clips and screenshots were deliberately fed to gossip blogs to control the narrative. And who would have the most to gain from that? Let's just say all fingers are pointing at someone who has made a career out of flipping a bad situation into a PR victory. One particular leak. A blurry security cam photo showing Claressa walking into a hotel lobby with Tony at 1:17 a.m. sent the internet into meltdown. The caption, it's just 2 words. She's home. No hashtags, no tags. Just enough to set every gossip page on fire. And hours later, what pops up on Remy Ma's Instagram story? A cryptic quote. Sometimes the trash takes itself out. The timing, impeccable. By now, Papoose's side of the story attempts are coming off desperate. Multiple bloggers claim he's sliding into their DMs, offering to clear things up if they let him tell it live on air. But here's the problem. Every time he talks, the timeline finds a new meme angle. One clip where he's allegedly defending himself on a live stream. Got looped into a 10-second TikTok soundbite captioned, "When you realize she still had a fiance." And it's already at 3.44 million views. The chaos doesn't end there. Remember those alleged text messages we mentioned in part 1? Now there's audio. Well, alleged audio. A heavily distorted voice that's supposed to be Claressa can be heard saying, "He was just a moment. Tony, you've always been my lead. Forever." Whether it's real or just a bored fan with a voice filter, the damage is done. The narrative is cemented. Papoose was never the main guy. And just when you think it couldn't get pettier, enter the remixes. Yes, actual producers are now sampling Papoose's old verses, cutting them between quotes from the alleged audio and uploading them as diss tracks. One particularly savage one is called From Matana, and it's trending on SoundCloud. Meanwhile, the sports media world is having its own field day. Boxing commentators are casually sliding jokes into match coverage. Claressa's footwork in the ring is nothing compared to the way she sidestepped Papoose. Brutal. But the wildest revelation yet comes from a supposed ex-assistant of Claressa's, who spoke to Gossip Spill Vibe under the condition of anonymity. According to them, Claressa planned this. Breakup revealed to coincide with a major fight announcement. Why? Because nothing drives ticket sales like headlines. And if you think about it, it makes sense. She's a world champion. It's promoting her next bout. Okay? And suddenly, her name is everywhere. Even in spaces that don't care about sports now. Here's where it gets really sinister. Multiple insiders are alleging that Tony Rich never really left the picture at all. That all those months Claressa and Papoose were spotted together, Tony was quietly in the loop. Some even claimed Tony himself was feeding certain stories to keep the public guessing, knowing full well he'd come out the hero in the end. If that's true, this isn't just a breakup. It's a coordinated hit to Papoose's image. And let's talk about Remy Ma's role here, because she's playing this like a master chess player. Publicly, she's saying nothing, not a word. But her social media activity is a whole other language. Liking shady comments? Check. Following Claressa's ex-sparring partner out of nowhere? Check. Posting an old throwback photo with the caption, "Day ones, day none." Double check. Fans are eating it up, tagging her in every thread, calling her Queen, Petty, and the Silent Assassin. By now, the debate online is split into camps. Camp 1 thinks Papoose got played from the start, a pawn in Claressa and Tony's love game. Camp 2 believes he knew exactly what he was getting into, but thought his loyal husband, Brand, could protect him. And then there's Camp 3, the conspiracy theorists, who think Remy orchestrated the entire thing to get the last laugh without ever lifting a finger. But what's undeniable is the fallout. Brand deals at risk. Event booking suddenly postponed. That rumored joint podcast Papoose was developing, sources say the sponsor quietly backed out. Public image in 2025 is currency, and right now, his stock is dropping like a stone. Still, he's not going down without swinging. According to Fresh Insider info, Papoose is gearing up to drop a Talal freestyle addressing everyone: Claressa, Tony, even Remy. The alleged title, Checkmate. But here's the kicker. Some say he's already recorded it 3 different times, each with a different ending, because he can't decide how petty to be. And if that wasn't enough, there's chatter that Claressa might be sitting on her own set of receipts, photos, videos, even private messages that could make Papoose look even worse. Whether she plans to drop them or just keep them as leverage is anyone's guess. But in this game, nothing stays buried forever. So where does this leave us? We have 4 key players: a humiliated Papoose trying to rewrite the narrative, a victorious Tony Rich enjoying the win, a headline-boosted Claressa Shields riding the publicity wave, and a very quiet, very strategic Remy Ma, who might be the real winner of it all. But here's the thing about stories like this. They don't just fizzle out. No, they evolve. They escalate. They find new angles. And just as the public starts to get bored, someone accidentally drops a fresh bombshell. Which, conveniently, is exactly what's about to happen. So remember when I said scandals? Like this don't just die. Yeah, forget, don't die. This one is mutating. Because now we're talking about an alleged secret meeting between 3 of the 4 key players in this mess. And the only one missing? Papoose. Here's how it supposedly went down. A production assistant who clearly doesn't know the meaning of confidentiality agreement tells. Gossip spill vibe that a closed-door dinner took place at a high-end restaurant in Manhattan, just days after the Claressa-Tony reunion. When public. Who was there? Claressa, Tony, and Remy Ma. No cameras, no publicists, no entourage. Just 3 people who, if you believe the rumors, had more than enough to talk about. Now, if you think this was just some casual sit-down, think. Again, according to our source, the meeting lasted over 2 hours. And from the looks of it, was far from friendly. At one point, witnesses claimed Claressa was seen pointing at her phone and laughing, while Tony leaned back with his arms crossed, nodding like a man who had already won. Remy. She allegedly sat there, calm as ever, sipping her drink. The queen observing her board. Here's where things get cinematic. Another insider swears that during that meeting, a folder, yes, a physical manila folder like this, was some old school mafia drop, passed across the table. What was in it? Photos, contracts, receipts? We don't know. But the whispers say it contained insurance in case Papoose tried to go nuclear with his freestyle or spilled dirt in an interview. Meanwhile, Papoose is out here filming Instagram stories. In a studio, tagging cryptic lines like, "They plotting, but I'm protected," and "The truth always wins." But instead, off sympathy, the comments are flooded with clown emojis and "Bro, it's over" replies. Now, about that reality show pilot rumor, this is where it gets really twisted. Word on the street is that months before this whole mess hit the public, a reality production company had pitched Claressa a show focusing on her life outside the ring. The pilot episode allegedly featured a relationship crossroads storyline involving her fiancé and Papoose. Meaning all the flirting, the social media teasing. Even those staged paparazzi shots might have been at least in part for the cameras. If that's true, then Papoose's humiliation isn't just personal, it's on tape, professionally lit, and sitting in some producer's hard drive right now. And according to one of my leak-happy contacts, there's interest from at least 2 streaming platforms in picking it up if the drama keeps trending. Translation, we could be watching the full train wreck on screen a matter of months. And just when you think the universe couldn't pile on more, enter the mystery third party. Rumors are flying that during the Claressa-Papoose situationship, there was another man, someone completely outside the music or sports industry, who had a quiet but significant connection to Claressa. If this mystery man comes forward, we're talking about flipping the love triangle into a love hexagon. And if that happens, forget trending, this becomes tabloid history. The public reaction is split. Some fans are begging for everyone to move on and let Papoose heal, while others are gleefully dissecting every micro-expression in old photos and videos. TikTok sleuths have built full timelines, cross-referencing outfits, background details, and even restaurant interiors to prove overlaps. In Claressa's time with Tony and Papoose, one viral post claims to have found the exact weekend she allegedly juggled both men down to the hour. Through it all, Remy Ma remains most intriguing piece of the puzzle. While Papoose takes the hits and Claressa rides the publicity, Remy is quietly rebranding. More studio time. A few cryptic interviews where she almost addresses the situation but pulls back at the last second. And a brand new merch drop featuring the phrase, "Watch who you feed." Fans are convinced it's aimed at Papoose, but Remy, of course, isn't confirming or denying. As for Tony Rich, he's playing the long game. Publicly, he's saying nothing negative. Privately, multiple sources claim he's been offered opportunities. to tell his side but has turned them all down for now, which is exactly the kind of patience that makes you wonder if he's waiting for the perfect moment to cash in. Then comes the ultimate plot twist, a leak that nobody saw coming. Late one night, a clip surfaces on a gossip page showing what appears to be Papoose and an unidentified woman leaving a lounge together. The comments explode. Is this revenge? A new fling? Stage distraction? Papoose doesn't confirm or deny, but the optics alone shift some of the heat off him temporarily. But if there's one thing we've learned from this saga, it's that peace never lasts. Within 48 hours, the folder from that secret meeting allegedly resurfaces, this time in the hands of a blogger with zero chill. They claim it contains screenshots, bank transfers, and a handwritten note that could end careers. While nothing has been publicly posted yet, the threat is enough to send the fandom into a frenzy. And so we're left with the burning questions. Was Papoose truly blindsided, or was he playing his own game and simply lost? Did Claressa orchestrate this entire chain of events as part of a bigger PR machine? Was Remy Ma just a spectator, or the quiet puppet master making sure every move led to this exact ending? And what about Tony? Is he just the fiance one? Or is there a bigger strategy behind his silence? One thing's for sure. In the court of public opinion, none of these players will ever be seen the same way again. Papoose may try to rebuild. Claressa will keep boxing and winning headlines. Tony will keep enjoying the victory lap. And Remy, she'll keep sipping her drink, watching the game she might have already won. But for us, the audience, the tea drinkers, the screen scrollers, this isn't the end. Not when there's a folder full of alleged receipts. It's a possible reality show waiting in the wings, and a mystery man who hasn't even spoken yet. In other words, the final chapter hasn't even been written. And now it's your turn. Was Papoose just unlucky? Or did he bring this on himself? Did Claressa ever truly leave Tony? Or was the whole Papoose chapter a carefully staged dare? And most importantly, do you think Remy Ma is laughing right now or planning her next move? Because here at Gossip Spill Vibe, we're not just telling you the story, we're making sure you see every twist, every leak, and every petty move as it happens. So hit that like button, drop your wildest theory in the comments, and subscribe because, trust me, the tea is far from over. Far from over.